would wear the hat, but it doesn't quite fit. Good morning. Good morning. No thief, however skillful, can rob one of knowledge. And that is why knowledge is the best and safest treasure to acquire. Author L. Frank Baum believed in two things: knowledge, as indicated in the quote that I just read, and imagination. The imaginative child will become the imaginative man or woman, most apt to create, to invent, and therefore foster civilization. Knowledge and imagination. Baum thought they were so important that he set his characters in The Wizard of Oz on a journey to acquire them. Brains to the Scarecrow, heart to the Tin Man, and courage to the Cowardly Lion. For without brains, heart, and courage, knowledge and imagination just simply do not exist. While I'm sure 119 years ago, Baum never thought a superintendent would be quoting him relative to public education, brains, heart, and courage are what we as educators work to grow in our students every single day. At the end of the movie, the group stands before the wizards receiving their gifts, and he tells the Scarecrow that every creature that crawls on the earth has a brain, that the difference between them and a great thinker is an education, symbolized by a diploma. You know, this time last year I stood before you and we shared that we had the highest graduation rate in district history. And this year we broke a record again with another record high graduation rate. Get this, if you dig into the numbers. In 2018, our district graduation rate increased to 82.8%, which was a 4.1% increase from the year before, and at a higher than average increase than what we saw statewide. Taking this into account, if you look at just our traditional high schools, that percentage goes up to 91.2%. The rate of African American students graduating increased by 6%. English language learners, that rate increased by 4.5%. And exceptional student education, that rate increased by, get this, 16.6%, which reduces achievement gaps in all those areas. Tomorrow and Sunday, we will hand out diplomas to the class of 2019. Approximately 5,300 students will be graduating over the weekend. 126 of those students have an unweighted GPA of 4.0, and 521 will walk across the stage with a weighted GPA of 5.0 or higher. That's nearly 10% of the senior class. Included in that number is Miss Yuhan Burgess of Cypress Lake High School.
My name is Yuhan Burgess and I'm a senior at Cypress Lake High School. I was born in Shantou, China. I was adopted at the age of 4 by my Puerto Rican father and my North Carolinian mother. When I got to the USA, the first thing that I was afraid of was our calico cat. I believe in being well-rounded. I've been playing piano since I was 5. Bring your arm up. I am a student instructor within the JOTC program. You were too low. I've always had an affinity for the uniform.
I think she's taken over 10 AP classes.
Currently, my unweighted GPA is a 4.0 and my weighted is a 5.34.
She plays 3 sports.
I'm a member of the varsity swimming, soccer, and lacrosse team. I was nominated by my coach as one of the best defensive players in the district, but I'm not quite sure what happened with that. I never got anything back on what happened with it. Anyways, I'm creating a mural that represents the Cypress Lake High School Battalion as well as JRTC. I've done art since I think 5 or whenever I could use my hands, I guess. It's a meditative state for me, and also because it's a way that I can make other people happy.
I don't know how she finds time to do like 36 hours of things in a 24-hour day. She's amazing.
Students follow her because she's somebody worth following. Not that she's the loudest voice in the room, but she's the person they want to be and emulate.
Burgess she's a wonder. You know how much we value loyalty, we value duty, we value respect, service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. You really demonstrate on a daily basis each and every one of these Army values. And I am sure you will live up to everything everyone thinks of you and expect of you, because you're just that kind of person.
Thank you, Major.
You're quite welcome.
Pretty amazing. Upon graduation, Yuhan will attend Eckerd College in St. Petersburg on a Founders Scholarship. Her goal is to work in the field of cybersecurity. Please welcome Yuhan and her mother Saja and ROTC instructor Major Paulette Provost. Every day, we inspire students like Yuhan and thousands of others to become innovators, collaborators, and critical thinkers. For example, right now we have 3 students in Phoenix, Arizona competing in the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. We have 1,800 students from all over the world, 75 countries that attend this prestigious event. Now, just to give you one example of the caliber of students, Fort Myers High School senior Cynthia Shang is presenting her experiment titled, now get this, Investigation of the Effects of DNA Concentration on the PEI Transfection Success and Efficacy of the SERP2 Secretional Signal. Wow. Easy stuff, right? Using a more common language, Cynthia's work is related to novel gene therapy treatment for curing the leading cause of blindness. Pretty phenomenal. Our kids are working on those types of things. Estero High School junior Mark Leone is working to determine a locally sourced solution to Florida's red tide program. And Fort Myers senior Dahlia Dry is competing again this year with software she designed to determine the probability of a star possessing a planetary system. Pretty impressive stuff. Dolly is not the only one to be interested in space, however. This year, 16 of our students from 9 schools spoke to an astronaut on board the International Space Station. And a little bit closer to home, our Microsoft Excel world champion from last year, Kevin DeMaculangan, is at it again, competing for his 2nd world title, this time in PowerPoint. He will be joined by Dunbar High School freshman Carson Mulvey, who won the Florida State Championship in Microsoft in 2016. So in short, our students are high performers, excelling academically, receiving local, state, and even international honors. That's in a part because our district's commitment to educational excellence, which has guided us over the last 3 years with our strategic plan, Vision 2020. And the gains that we have made from pre-K through high school helped us earn a highly effective rating by Advanced Ed, an internationally recognized organization that conducts rigorous reviews to ensure districts like ours meet high learning standards. Our school as a school district was 340 out of 400. It's a huge accomplishment, highly above what is a typical district scores. It shows that we are reaching a level of impact and engaging processes that are becoming ingrained in our culture. Like increasing the number of pre-K students served by our district. We now have an all-time high in terms of the number, and creating educational standards for private centers to ensure our children are kindergarten ready. In fact, our Early Childhood Center received the highest rating possible, 5 stars, from the Early Learning Coalition of Southwest Florida. The number of schools earning an A or a B from the state increased 9% over the past 3 years. The number of schools in differentiated accountability, meaning receive a grade of a D or an F, went from 23 4 years ago to just 1 today. And if you compare us to the largest school districts in the state, we have the least number of DA schools. Our high school students also improved their ACT scores this year, and our district was one of only 2 in the state of Florida named to the College Board's AP Honor Roll for increasing the number of students taking advanced placement tests, but also the percentage of students scoring 3 or higher. So Vision 2020 led us to historical successes, and now this time we need to look further, well into the next 10 years. In Vision 2030, our new strategic plan defines this district's single priority as student success, with the goal of meeting the academic and social needs of each child. The focus on the whole child has been rolled out using the ABC initiative: attendance, behavior, and classroom success. Children learn best when they attend school every day. To that end, we've created an early warning system to notify when a student is chronically absent and to provide intervention and support to overcome those attendance barriers. Students who exhibit self-control are better apt to learn and allow others to learn. That's why we're implementing restorative practices and alternatives to suspension, offering diversity professional learning opportunities for our staff members. We've added social workers, psychologists, to our school counselor team, expanded our mental health teams, and strengthened partnerships with local organizations like Salus Care. We know that in some cases, behavior is directly tied to how safe a student feels in school. So we've strengthened our infrastructure as well. We've installed video entry systems at our schools. Access control doors continue to be added. Closed circuit cameras are being refreshed. And we just approved the spending of $1.5 million to provide building coverage for first responder radio systems. And we're really proud of this when we have a school resource officer in every school this year. And we will do the same thing thanks to our continued partnerships with the City of Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Sanibel, as well as our long-term partnership with the Sheriff's Department and Lee County. Those partnerships also continue outside the classroom as well, keeping students safe as they walk to school and wait for the bus. This has been a community-wide endeavor with local businesses, nonprofits donating lights and benches to collaborate between municipalities, law enforcement, and this district for sidewalks, lights, and a comprehensive education campaign which we'll be working on this summer. Increasing healthy and safe behavior decreases barriers to learning, which impacts C, our classroom success. Being committed to student success means offering a wide variety of programs to choose from, including advanced placement, international baccalaureate, Cambridge ACE, the arts, and of course, our career academies. This year, our high schools have anywhere from 5 to 14 career academies, everything from culinary arts, gaming, welding, aerospace, sustainability, and medical assisting, just to name a few. We are passionate about providing opportunities for our students, not only so they gain knowledge, but also to spark their imagination, to inspire them, to help them reach their highest potential. But we can't do that without the heart of our profession, and that is the teacher. Teachers like Viviana Mendoza.
At East Lee County High School, there's one teacher who's different from all the rest.
Gracias por ayudar hoy.
First-year Spanish teacher Viviana Mendoza is currently the only teacher at East who also went to school there.
East helped me out a lot. I just remember having a lot of fun whenever I was here.
Mendoza graduated from East in 2013 and got her degree in social work at Florida Gulf Coast University. After a brief stint as a social worker, she realized her true calling was teaching.
I wasn't working as closely as I wanted to with the kids, so that's when I decided I can get my teaching license. A lot of positions were open for Spanish, and I applied for all of them, but when I saw East, I was like, I need to get into East because I knew that I was going to feel comfortable.
We're so excited to have her as a part of our staff. She wants to do the best thing for kids every single day.
So this is the person that you're doing about.
A native of Venezuela, she moved to the US with her family when she was 12.
They wanted to give us the opportunity to be able to go to college, get an education, get whatever we couldn't get back in my home country. And I tried to show that to my students, like many kids in Venezuela don't even have the opportunity that they get here.
In her classroom, Mendoza emphasizes building close relationships with her students.
When she said she had gone to this school, it kind of made me realize she knows the environment. And so it does make you feel more comfortable and okay to come and talk to her because you know she'll understand it.
She's one of those teachers that you can trust. Like when you have a situation, you can go to her and talk to her.
I think that's the part I like the most, being able to talk to them and answer their questions.
The fact that she was given opportunities here and then went to school, got higher education, and decided to come back and pay it forward and share with the community that she feels like gave to her is just priceless.
Please welcome Viviana. I think that's just such a cool story. Viviana is part of a culture shift that began this year at East Lee County High School called Capturing Kids' Hearts. The premise is to create classrooms of high-achieving centers of learning by strengthening the connection between the student and the teacher, as well as establishing agreements of acceptable behavior. That is more important now than ever before because of our changing student population. The number of English language learners, or ELL students, entering our district is increasing by more than 1,000 students every single year. Approximately 25,000 of our students require special instruction due to a disability, a need for special accommodations or intervention services. We're seeing more high-need students. In fact, this is the first year that every school in our district qualified to serve a free breakfast and lunch based on the number of low-income students. We've started a supper program at 38 of our schools to provide meals that students may not otherwise receive outside the school. And our Food and Nutrition Services Department is currently working with the Harry Chapin Food Bank to set up a pilot program with some of our schools for a food donation collaboration project. In some cases, our schools are the only places where the student receives a meal, where they interact with others, where an adult is there to look after them. So I would argue that teaching is more demanding today than it ever has been. But it's also more rewarding. Not only are teachers capturing kids' minds, but they're showing them how to make a difference in the world around them. Like Diplomat Middle, where students are participating in the 3rd annual Peace Walk, raising money for the American Cancer Society, while learning about the importance of being kind and giving back. Cypress Lake High School hosted its 14th annual Special Olympics Field Day for all the district's high school students. If you ever get a chance to go, it's a really cool event. While Paul Laurence Dunbar Middle School invited 150 students with special needs to its annual SOAR dance. Estero High School organized Wish Week to grant a child's wish, while South Fort Myers High School students raised $14,000 to help a student walk for the very first time by buying her a prosthetic leg. And Varsity Lakes Middle School went global with their project. Let's take a look.
Clean, easily accessible water. At Varsity Lakes Middle School, there's a plaque above a pair of water fountains to remind them that not everyone in the world has it as easy as we do.
Every 60 seconds, a child under the age of 5 dies from illness related to dirty water.
Women and girls spend up to 6 hours every day walking to get water for their families.
In the spring of 2018, after reading the book A Long Walk to Water with her students, 6th grade teacher Kim Cabrera started thinking.
We're teaching them about the water crisis around the world. How can we empower them to activate what they've learned and actually use it?
She stumbled upon the website H2O for Life, an organization that helps connect schools in the United States with humanitarian projects around the world. There, she learned about the Sabane Primary School in Kenya, a school with more than 700 students and no access to clean water.
They were walking up a mountainside and collecting water from a little, I guess it was like a little muddy creek.
H2O for Life had a plan to help these children. It was up to Varsity Lakes Middle to supply the funding.
They told us that the project would cost $5,638. We had some kids who were like, what, $5,600? That's too much money. And I was like, I really think that we can raise that money.
I wanted to give those kids the same opportunities that I have to use a clean bathroom with doors and drink clean water.
Some kids walked around their neighborhood and they asked for donations. They raised over, I think it was $7,400.
Thanks to their donation, work soon began on a 50,000-liter rainwater catchment tank. The money also helped build 6 latrines along with hand-washing stations. Later that summer, the students of Varsity Lakes Middle finally got to see the results of their charity and dedication.
The kids were all smiling. They were just having a great time, and they were getting free, clean water. To think that I took part in such a huge fundraiser to help people I don't even know and that don't even live in the same continent as me, made me feel really good. Made me happy.
Varsity Lakes students are already working on a project to help another school in Africa, hoping to build their collection of plaques above their water fountains.
We're going to keep doing projects until all of our water fountains represent another school somewhere else that has clean water.
Our students and teachers are already having a positive impact, not only in our community, but around the world. Research shows the most important variable in student success is the classroom teacher. In 2018, the Florida Board of Education identified critical teacher shortages in English, mathematics, reading, general science, physical science, and other fields. While we're feeling the pinch here in Southwest Florida, we've taken some innovative steps to attract effective and highly effective teachers. For example, in partnership with Florida Gulf Coast University, we've implemented the STAR Teacher Program, which allows high-performing college education students the opportunity to be the teacher of record in a vacant instructional position. In addition, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the university to develop an innovative lab school that will train future teachers, perform educational research, and also be a model of innovation for the state and the nation. Thanks to our wonderful partnership with this foundation, Suncoast Credit Union, FSW, FGCU, we continue to expand the Grow Your Own initiative. This program provides our students with scholarships of tuition, full tuition and books, and upon graduation, they're guaranteed a teaching position within our district. Currently, we have 7 students that have received these scholarships, and thanks to our legislative delegation, led by Senator Elizabeth Benaquisto and Representative Spencer Roach, funding to expand this program is currently sitting on the governor's desk. This is fantastic for Lee County. In addition, our district was instrumental in changes made to the teacher certification process. Last year, more than 1,000 effective and highly effective teachers were terminated statewide because they could not pass the general knowledge exam. But thanks to discussions held right here in Bonita Springs High School with Representative Byron Donalds, a law passed removing barriers to the certification process. Much of what we accomplish in this district goes back to these types of partnerships that we have with our community. The Estero Education Initiative is one example, an agreement that was forged between the district, the village, businesses, civic organizations, parents, and our schools to encourage volunteerism, to raise funds to support educational, recreational, and arts experiences in our schools. Those of you sitting in this room are part of our success as well, for without your support, we cannot offer the programs and opportunities that go directly to inspiring the minds and the hearts of our students. So that brings us back to courage, something that this district does not lack. Last year at this time, I was talking about the need for additional capital funding in the form of a half-penny sales tax. But despite harsh opposition, we stand here successful with the majority voting to support public education. That's a historical. We started collecting sales tax dollars in March and are now able to make much needed maintenance improvements, safety and security enhancements, and technology upgrades. Our schools are getting new roofs, new HVAC systems, new windows, making them more energy efficient and improving the learning environment for our kids. Infrastructure projects are underway, allowing our students to engage in more immersive learning environments like real-time augmented and virtual reality interactions, and peer-to-peer instruction with leaders outside of our district and our students. We're also expanding to keep up with growth. This year we opened up Bonita Springs High School on time and at a cost competitive with other high school projects in the state. And last fall, the addition of Lehigh Senior High School, or next fall, the addition of Lehigh Senior High School will open, adding approximately 7,000 more seats to our district. In the fall of 2020, a new East Zone High School will stage in portables. The permanent building will open in 2021 with approximately 2,000 student stations and 4 new career academies: cybersecurity, veterinarian and medical assistance, and culinary. In 2022, we will open a middle school in Lehigh, followed by a K-8 in the South Zone to alleviate crowding. In addition, passing this tax helped free up, over the last 2 years, approximately $9 million from capital, which we're able to combine with an additional $17 million to put toward compensation, bringing the average teacher salary from the 40th percentile in 2016 to the 55th percentile in 2018 to a projected 60th percentile this year, and we're working to reach the 75th percentile as soon as possible. In addition, we made some tough staffing and program decisions this year to better allocate resources in order to help our students achieve even higher success. Courage is about doing what's right, even when it's difficult. It's about being bold and innovative. As the wizard says to the cowardly lion, true courage is facing danger when you are afraid. And there's no better person to learn that lesson from than Bella Parrish.
When you think of courage, a pint-sized girl with an affinity for homemade jewelry might not be the first thing that comes to mind. But if you spend a little time with Bella Parrish, that will change.
Yeah, I cook them.
Everybody always says how brave Bella is.
A sophomore at Riverdale High School, she might not look it, but Bella is 16 years old. Her growth has been stunted since the age of 3.
13 years ago, it was on Easter Sunday morning that Bella woke up sick. She was vomiting. We thought she had caught the flu or, some other kind of virus.
Well, I have, it's called craniopharyngioma, and it's a brain tumor that won't go through the body, but it'll go through my brain and spread.
Since then, Bella has had 4 brain surgeries. She gets an MRI every 3 to 4 months and has undergone years of radiation therapy.
Right before the surgeries, especially right before the radiation, is always the hardest because it's seeing her have the anxiety.
I feel like I'm being suffocated in there because you can't move your head at all. You can move your body, but it's like you're being strapped down to a table, which was scary.
The tumor hasn't only affected Bella's growth, she's also partially blind in both eyes.
Basically, I'm looking through a tunnel 24/7.
And yet, despite all she's been through, you'd never know Bella's had a tough life if you met her.
You ready?
Her outlook on life is so special. You know, for someone who's gone through all the things she's been through, it'd be easier for her to hang her head or look like she's tired or be exhausted after a long weekend of treatment, but she's never that way. She's always smiling, always jovial, always bouncing around, and genuinely happy to see people.
Hi,
Here's my angel. How are you?
Good, how are you?
When she comes through my line, if I'm having a bad day even, it's like I can't help but smile all over.
She's friends with everybody. You can literally go up to her, say hi, and she'll talk to you, and it's just, she's a lot of fun and a really good friend.
That was so funny. She doesn't really have the social life that most teens have. So her social life is school. And it's such a positive experience for her. The school has come together in a way that has been there. We've got people looking out for Bella because they know her visual disability.
If anything ever happens, I know it'll be okay because I have their support.
At home, Bella enjoys playing games with her brother Owen and making bracelets for her friends and family. Many feature a single word: courage. You can often find her passing them out to her classmates in the hallways of Riverdale.
She's embraced it, who she is. And as a parent, I think that's one of my more prouder moments, is that she's happy with who she is. And Bella has always been happy with who she is.
I feel that I'm lucky that I have it this easy because I know kids out there have way harder lives, like they are going through so much more than I am.
Bella is now a year removed from her last radiation treatment, and doctors just told her family her tumor has shrunk more than half in size. When she grows up, she plans to be a radiation technician, so she can help kids like herself make it through difficult times.
I would say I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to take tedious time, or I know it's going to feel awful, but you can get through it, and I know you can stay positive and just make it through it.
It just takes a little courage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bella and her parents, Rebecca and Jacob, right here in front. Truly inspiring. Courage, heart, and brains, this district has them in spades. We're personalizing learning experience for each of our students to ensure knowledge. We're passionate about building relationships with our students so they know our hearts. And we are progressive and courageous in our fight to give them a world-class educational system. So on the behalf of the 94,000 students, the 13,000 employees, our amazing school board, and myself, I want to thank you for all that you do. And to quote author L. Frank Baum one last time, there's no place like home. Thank you so much. God bless you.
To give our superintendent another round of applause. So we hope you learned something while being entertained this morning. Thank you all for coming out. Just a few closing remarks. For those of you that don't know, and I think I'm preaching to the choir here, but 33 years ago, the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools was born out of the business community when our community leaders in the business and elsewhere recognized that in order to have a sound and strong economic community, you have to have a sound and strong and good education system. You guys all understand that. Please spread the word around this community. Lee County, as you've already heard, with just those numbers that the superintendent just gave us, is no longer a sleepy little county in Southwest Florida. It's quite a robust county. And we thank our Board of Education, our school board members for all that you do. We thank our teachers and our educators for all that you do. We thank all of our parents that are engaged with their students in this process. I want you to hear just one more fact, to not only point out the challenges, but the wonderful opportunities that are offered by getting involved in the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools and with the School District of Lee County. You heard the numbers. We're over 90,000 strong in terms of students. You heard the numbers, how many people work for the Lee County School District. It is a large business. In fact, the second largest, behind Lee Health, between Tampa and Miami. There's a lot of room for engagement by this community to help assure that our greatest asset in our community, our students, get the support that they need so that they get the education that they want, so that they come back here and are the leaders of the future in this community. There are over 150 countries represented by the students in our school district. Wrap your head around that. Lots of challenges, but lots of opportunities. They reflect what our community is all about. Your engagement with the school district and the foundation is priceless. The return is immeasurable. So help me one more time in thanking Lexington Country Club and Broadway Palm Dinner Theater, our business partners of the year. And the last group of people I want to thank are our school district partners. Will you guys please stand up over there in the middle? Everybody needs to, Jason, you and all your people. Stand up. Give them a big round of applause. And last but certainly not least, turn around and look at these people behind you. That's the staff of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. You think I'm not afraid going into work every morning? So now for our finale, from Fort Myers Green Wave Marching Band under the direction of Zachary Dieter.